We didn't do a lot on the neuroscience in this because you get that in a lot of other places. But we know to be trauma responsive is all about safety, the survival brain, the amygdala. The insula part of the brain is what creates connection. We think it's cultivated in the heart. We feel it in the heart, but connection and empathy, compassion happens in the insula. It's another great reason to meditate, to have more of an equity lens. The engaged brain, our executive function, is happening in the prefrontal cortex. So we always start from the bottom. I feel safe. I feel connected to you. Now I'm going to learn from you. That's how it happens. So when we start our lesson, when our kids are coming into class, we want to have that mindful moment for a few minutes. Then we go into our warm-up connection activity. Doesn't need to be super intellectual. That's the feeling tone, the blue and the red. We're still hanging out there. Now we're going to go and start moving our way up into the intellectual area of our work together, which is reviewing the flow of what's going to happen for the day and getting into the do now. That's where your do now might really live. Okay, so many people make the do now as number one. That's not it. It's not a feel good. Doesn't feel good. Then we go into our curricular content, and then we close with care. We bring something back into the feeling tone. The metaphor that I'll use for this is a dinner party. When you tend to go to a friend's house for dinner or to family's house for dinner, you get to the door, you exchange great greetings, you might hug, you're going to put your purse down, put your bags down, maybe you'll give a gift of some sort because you're in the house. Then it's like, oh, do you want to go sit in the living room for a minute? Okay, let's go sit in the living room. So now we're in the warm-up and connection. We're just talking about, the day-to-day things, how are you, whatnot. You might even have some appetizers in that moment. Then we're starting to go into, so what's for dinner? What are we going to be eating? Oh, got this great dinner. Okay, we're going to do this now. Let's go to the table. The majority of the time is spent at the table. It's why you went. You went to eat dinner. So you're there for the majority of the time. When you leave from eating dinner, you might stop back through the living room and chill out a little bit. You might even have dessert there. Then you're going to go to the door. You're going to, again, exchange niceties. You're going to hug, gather your purse and keys, and then you're going to go. So many people ask me and Sean, how do you do all this and still not sacrifice the lesson plan, the learning, the content? Because that's the majority of your meal. It's never sacrificed. It's never sacrificed. And if you think about teaching for 30 to 40 minutes straight through without interruption, you've won. When you have to teach 30 to 40 minutes through, 50 to 60 minutes through, and you've been interrupted several times throughout, you ended up with 25 minutes of good stuff anyway.